I always feel that I have the blessing and support of Lord Shiva. Like there is a voice within. There were situations in life where you get a collapsing feeling. You feel that you are collapsed now. But suddenly some things happen and they are like real miracles which I cannot explain in words. But Lord Shiva has really taken me out of those situations. So it's a prayer for me to get him ink on my body. That's why I decided to get a tattoo.
I found Mihir a very interesting personality as such. He was little reserved, not someone who would open up easily. While I felt he's very genuine, very authentic. I mean, his voice had this stable, grounded feel to it, and as I felt that he would not open up easily, I started a conversation on the lighter side. I didn't just jump into asking straight questions about the project. Rather, I just started with something really light. And for me, it's very important that I understand the story behind the tattoo. It's never about just the design or the art. It is always about the story which is reflected through art, through a tattoo. And that story has a lot of emotions. It's not very superficial, it's deep. So for me, it was really important that I create a space for him where he can open up. Something like I wanted him to speak from heart and not his mind.
I noticed that he was not rushing towards answers. He was digging deeper and deeper, and he was making me realize what exactly I want out of this tattoo. So I would say that it was a therapy kind of thing rather than a consultation.
When the conversation was done, when I finished it, so I was feeling that jumping into the design directly would not be a great idea. And I thought, let me first write down a narrative, a more like a poem out of whatever conversation we had, and let me present that poem or the narrative to him and see if he relates or connects to it. And I wrote a narrative and shared it with him.
When Sunny got back to me, I was expecting a sketch, but Sunny had sent a narration of the tattoo and it was like a poem. But when I read the entire narration and I understood the gist of the poem, I felt that this is the same feeling that I feel, which I cannot say in words. But Sunny had absorbed what I wanted out of the tattoo. And when I showed it to my family, they were really happy seeing the narration.
If they can feel the poem, now I know that I can feel what he feels, if not 100%, but I'm still there and I'm ready to now jump into the design. So I started the design. I started this project with Samir. So on the surface, the elements were very clear. He did not want the Shiva face, but he wanted the lion face. Lion because his zodiac sign is Shiva in Marathi, and then all the elements of Shivji, Trishul, Damru, Rudraksha, third eye, Bhasma, all these elements were there on the surface. But then there was this deep story which was bringing all the elements into this one piece, like it's like music there, right? The moment he saw the design, I mean, he was completely flat about it. I mean, he just loved it. He showed it to family; they loved it. His kid was very excited about the design. I mean, he loved it to the core. So the only request he had beyond what we presented was having a Om somewhere, and because of the aesthetics and because of the way the design was flowing, I did not see a way to push in the Om there. It was not flowing in. And I explained this part to him, and he agreed that we can drop the idea to have Om, and that's it. We closed the design, and we got onto the day when tattoo was supposed to be done.
When I went to the studio, I was really nervous because it was my first tattoo. But when I entered the studio, I felt like the atmosphere was very warm. Everyone was very cooperative and they made me feel like home. And as it was my first tattoo, I was really nervous. But when Sunny was making the tattoo, he was chatting with me and also making me very comfortable. So I didn't feel like any sort of pain which I was expecting for making such a big tattoo. But overall, it was a very delightful experience with Sunny.
Over the 2 days, we had a lot of discussions. We spoke a lot about the design, about personal stories and families and stuff. And there's this very interesting thing happened at the end of the session, which felt like a miracle. So basically, he wanted Om from the beginning, and I convinced him not to because it was not just going with the flow of the design, and he agreed to it. When I finished the tattoo, and at the end of it, when he was looking at the tattoo in the mirror, and he kind of trying to see the tattoo from different angles, and the moment he lifted his arm and saw the tattoo sideways, he saw the Om. The Trishul and the Rudraksha, they are placed in such a way that in sideways it looks like a Om, like a proper Om, which is forming through the same Trishul which I did. Now that was not intentional, it was not planned. It's like a coincidence. It's for them, for me. So that is very, very fulfilling for me to experience that.
When I look at it now, I just don't see lion and the symbols. I see my faith, my silence, my strength in the tattoo. And above all, I see Lord Shiva on my body, which gives me a complete feeling in life. This entire experience from the sketch to my final tattoo has been completely sacred, and it was a wonderful journey with Sunny and Team Aliens. I am really thankful to everyone for making such a beautiful art piece on my body, and obviously it's going to be with me forever, and I'll cherish this experience all my life.